So you own a slow shopping center. Here's 3 things you should do in your leasing to make sure you're getting the maximum value you can out of it. Number 1, whenever you're leasing a slow shopping center, understand that it's not a tenant's primary or most interesting spot that they could rent from. There are probably shopping centers out there with a Piggly Wiggly, a grocery store, or some kind of gym that would draw in a lot of traffic and obviously draw in a lot of customers for that potential tenant. So, number 1, what you should be doing is looking to get competitive with your leasing terms. Sometimes that could mean offering below market rate rent. Sometimes that could mean offering a very generous tenant improvement or a build out package, or it might just mean sitting down and thinking about what leasing terms would really make your shopping center interesting to prospective tenants. Number 2 is thinking about the tenants that you're advertising to. There's a difference between impulse and destination tenants. So an impulse tenant is someone who heavily relies on someone driving by or walking by their store and then coming in and impulsing their way into a purchase. Thinking something like a donut shop, right? If someone is really hungry and drives by a donut shop, they might actually go ahead and convert and say, yeah, I really want a donut right now. Let me pull off and go ahead and buy a donut. Versus compare it to a chiropractor's office. No one's gonna drive by a chiropractor's office and think, yeah, I really just need a chiropractor visit right now. No one really does it. That's the difference between an impulse tenant and a destination tenant. If you have a slower shopping center that doesn't get as many visitors, you want to be considering curating your advertising and your marketing towards destination tenants. Tenants that already have an established book of business, that don't necessarily rely on high traffic counts to keep them going. This could be something like medical office uses, regular office uses like financial advisors, insurance agents. It's a lot of businesses that already have established books of business that they're generating from the internet or from other locations rather than on the clients or the customers driving by or walking by. So that's number 2, is targeting destination tenants. And finally, number 3 is thinking about the overall long-term plan with your shopping center. If you have a slow shopping center and you're realizing that it's hurting the rent you can charge and your leasing prospects, maybe it's time to sit down and think about what can you do to increase the amount of visitors that come there. It could be something as simple as making the shopping center more visually appealing so people are more excited to come there. It could be also something along the lines of, hey, do we have a suite we can try to offer a major tenant with a lot of traffic to come into with? So for example, if you've got a vacancy that could be a really good fit for a food franchisee that's really popular, maybe offering them a sweetheart deal on rent may make sense based on all the traffic they're gonna bring into your shopping center. So number 3 would be to sit down and actually think about long-term strategies to increase foot traffic and visitors to your shopping center. So those are 3 things. Number 1 is getting competitive with your leasing terms to make yourself attractive compared to high traffic shopping centers. Number 2 is targeting destination tenants rather than impulse tenants. And number 3 is having a long-term vision in place to get your shopping center on the up and up. Thank you so much for tuning into this week's Mark Minute, and I look forward to working with you next week.